Good evening, folks. Saturday evening in the Mourne Mountains. Welcome to another Hergé's Adventures episode of Whitebeard's Kitchen. What I'm going to do this evening is my version of a chicken korma. Okay, folks, so what I have, and it's been marinating for about 2.5 hours, preferably overnight if you can do it, is about 900 grams of chicken. I was going to say 900 kilograms, but no, that would be, what do you call it, a lot of chicken. So 900 grams of chicken, and what I have in here is roughly about 3 tablespoonfuls of Greek yogurt. I have a half teaspoon of a Kashmiri chilli powder, and also what I do have is about 2 heaped teaspoons of my own Tandoori Masala mix. So what I have here then is an oil pan, probably about maybe 3 tablespoonfuls of oil. So what I'm going to do is, with my hands, which will end up a lovely colour no doubt at the end of this part, is transfer these chicken pieces over to this pan and pop them into the oven on a really high heat. 200 degrees in a fan oven, 220 degrees in a conventional oven, probably I'm going to say for about 15 minutes. Okay folks, so just going to put these chicken pieces, I have them probably in about, hopefully around about 2 centimetre by 2 centimetre bites. Just going to get this all in and then I can spread it out. Not a very nice job, smells very lovely. As I say, use my own Tandoori Masala mix. Be easier to buy it from the Asian superstores or Indian spice stores. I'm going to spread that out. Okay, that's it spread out. Just give this a scrape in my hands, just smear it all over. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this into the oven, as I mentioned, preheated 200 degrees, probably for about 15 minutes. That's 200 degrees in a fan oven, 220 in a conventional oven. So everyone, while the chicken is cooking in the oven, what I'm going to show you is some of the spices and the other ingredients that I am going to be using. So what I have got here is, I have roughly about 4 to 5 tablespoons of just pure vegetable oil. I don't have ghee, which would be great. Okay, so I have that in this cup. I have 2.5 or 3 small bay leaves. If you have a large one, that's great. I have 4 green cardamom pods, 5 rather, that I have just cracked. A piece of cassia bark or cinnamon stick. I have about 1.5 tablespoonfuls of ginger, which I have, along with 3 tablespoons of garlic cloves, and I have just created those, just bashed them in the pestle and mortar and made those into a paste. I have 2 small onions which I have pureed a bit. I'm not going to add all this in, but this is really a tomato puree, just made purely of tomatoes. I probably add in about 5 to 6 heaped tablespoons or dessert spoons rather of the tomato. I have had desiccated, I was going to say the word designated, no it's not designated, the better half laughs at me all the time, so I've tried to make this into a powder. If you can get coconut powder, all the better. So I have roughly here about, I'm going to say about 6 heaped tablespoonfuls of, I call it coconut powder. I have then 1 cup of almond powder, which I will use. I have then, and yep, it's Black Sabbath again, surprise. They're 2013 Tour Cup. I have a cup of Greek yogurt, which I have here. I have then finally sugar. I add in maybe about 4 teaspoons, 5 teaspoons of sugar, possibly and I might add more yogurt during the process. And last but not least, to make it a wee bit decadent, probably you can get your hands on double cream. This is whipping cream, so as I say, it can split a bit, but if you can get double cream or heavy cream as they call it in the United States, that's all the better, but this will go in at the end. And also what I have, if you can get golden raisins, great. I don't have them, but certainly the likes of any raisins, or I have here roughly, I'm going to say about 60 grams of sultanas. Folks, the dried spices also that I'm going to be using for this, my version of my korma, starting off here roughly about half a teaspoon to 3/4 of a teaspoon of turmeric powder, 1.5 teaspoons of fenugreek seeds, and I'll put those in at the beginning. Ideally I would love to have had Kashmiri methi or methi leaves, which you can kind of crumble in your hands and add those in at the end, but I don't have them, so because these are the seeds they need to go in at the beginning. I also have here 1 teaspoon of paprika. I have here roughly about half a teaspoon of cumin powder. I have 1.5 teaspoons of Kashmiri chilli powder, roughly about half a teaspoon of garam masala powder, and here I have 2 teaspoons of coriander powder. So these are all the spices that I'm going to be adding in, and also just, you can't see it, and I near missed it because it's white, is I have roughly about a teaspoon of salt. Think I need to wear the old glasses, but hey ho, let's get cooking. Roughly about 5 tablespoonfuls of just pure vegetable oil will do. I mean, if you can have butter, ghee or ghee, that's great. Something I must get. What I'm going to do is just let this heat for a few seconds, and then I'll add in the cassia bark, the cardamom pods, and the bay leaves. That's what I would call the garam masala. So right, I'm going to add these in now, and these only need a quick heat up, just to release some of the oils from the cardamom pods and the basil leaves, the bay leaves, not basil, never use basil. Make sure you have this on a high heat, which I have. Get that oil nice and hot, so we can get these spices coming through. Excuse me for the din. You know, played the drums the other night. Let's do it again. So that's beginning to heat nicely. And that's all that you really want to do with this. You know, it's just to release the oils. What I'm going to add in now, and I will probably turn the heat down a wee bit, is the garlic and ginger paste that I made and showed you. Part of the ingredients. Just going to add that in. You don't want this to burn. I'm going to turn this down now to probably about a medium heat. Give that a quick stir round just to liven up the garlic and the ginger. Again, probably 45 seconds. When you start to see it colour a little bit, then that's great. What I'm going to do is add these dried spices. As I say, that would be the turmeric powder, the coriander powder, the paprika, the garam masala, the cumin powder. Hopefully I get all this, the salt, which, as I say, didn't see, my Kashmiri chilli, and get those all in. And it's really only to liven these up. You don't want these to burn, so just be very careful. Okay, so just want to heat these through and kind of get that going, because your spices can be a little bit sometimes damp, and hopefully you can see already that lovely kind of red colour, and that's with the Kashmiri chilli, and maybe you can see my hands, which are like multicoloured swap shop. For those people that are as old as me that remember that. So I'm going to turn this down ever so slightly, again, just to medium to low. I don't want the spices to burn. Going to add in now the onions, which I kind of pureed. As I say, it was 2 small to medium onions. Just give those kind of a bit of a stir. Get those all mixed nicely through. I think I said 5 or 6 tablespoons or dessert spoons, heaped dessert spoons of the tomato puree, which I have, and these were just really good sized tomatoes, so I'm going to add 1 in. Oops, it is, can't get this going. 2, 3, 4, 5, and I have this thing about uneven numbers, so I'm going to make it 6. And I might add some in again later on. And what I will do, possibly, turn this down to a medium low, put the lid on, and I will check this and leave it for maybe about 8 minutes or so. So all the spices, the tomato, the garlic and the ginger can kind of infuse with each other. Lid on. We'll keep a wee eye on this. I'll check it maybe in about 2 minutes to make sure nothing's sticking. If it needs be, I can add a little bit taste of water. This is my chicken that I blasted in the oven. I probably blasted it for 15, maybe going on near 20 minutes. I would say this is cooked. You'll see that this it's not burning at all. This is the yogurt. It's got a nice char on it. I've done this only once before from picking it off from Shamsa from My Little Kitchen, and I've actually done this better, and I'm sure if she was to see this she would be really proud. And if you've seen fingers there, this is my camera lady, better known as the better half. So we'll all be sitting down to a base gravy, a chicken korma with no fucking chicken in it. I suppose I can give her a wee piece, saying that, I mean, she is doing the camera for me tonight. Okay folks, so I'm just checking in. It's been about I'm going to say about maybe 6, 7, 8 minutes, roughly about 8 minutes. I can see some of the oil from the spices coming around the edges, which is great. You can see that. I have some of my base gravy here. But first of all, what I might do is add in, what do you call it, my desiccated, I get this right, desiccated, I'm so pleased, desiccated coconut into this. Okay, get that in. Give it a bit of a mix round. Yep. So I'm just going to add in just another little bit of tomato here. I'm waiting beside me the base gravy. I will add some of that in. So there's my cup of almond powder in. I'm going to turn this just down to a low, waiting for the base gravy kind of to heat through. I don't want to put that in when it's cold. So let's say just mix this through, you know, scrape it off from the edges, get the likes of the desiccated coconut, the almond powder. They will add obviously sweetness to this. There will be sugar going in for those that like have a bit of a sweet tooth. One thing I will put in is I will put a few small green chilies. People aren't overly great with their spices in this little household. Get the yogurt in, get that well mixed through. I'm tempted to lick the spoon, my normal, but I might lick it at the end if I can't get any more off. Don't want to break my Black Sabbath mud. Special memories of seeing them in 2013, and then and that was their 2013. That was the name of the album. First time that Ozzy had been with them. Right, so I'm going to lick the spoon, and it'll not be going in again, so don't worry. And if you see me now, it would be like the cat that got the cream. Okay folks, so the base gravy, just want to mention, if you want to look how I made this base gravy, please check out my previous video. I'm going to add in probably a few ladles of this. It is heated up nicely. I'm going to turn it down, put that in. I'm going to put 2 ladles in. Okay folks, so I have added in the base gravy. What I'm going to do now is add the chicken. As I say, this chicken is literally cooked. I don't want to be stirring this too much. So just make sure that everything is well mixed round. Again, don't want white bits of yogurt shown at all in this. I can't thin this down a little bit. What I'm going to do now is add in about 4 heaped teaspoons of sugar, because as I say, I have about 900 grams, near said kilograms again, of chicken. Just give this a bit of a stir. It's on a medium heat. This is quite thick. What I might do is add a little cup of boiling water, get the lid back on, and let this cook for probably, I'm going to say, half an hour. That should be it almost ready then at that point. I'll add some more maybe base gravy in as well. So there's another 2 ladles. So I'm going to say probably that's about 400 mils of the base gravy, and we'll see how that goes. Just checking this, folks, and it is quite thick. I want that because I've added so much almond powder in. Just tasted it in terms of sweetness. So I'd only put in 4 teaspoons, but because it's such a large pot, and people like their sweetness here, I'm going to add in another 4 to 5 heaped teaspoons. Probably could have put in 3 to 4 tablespoons for something like this. Now what I'm going to do is, it's kind of almost like a Bengali type thing. Korma, I'm going to add in roughly about 40 grams of raisins, or sultanas in this case. If you can get golden raisins, all the better. I'm just going to add in just another wee tiny taste of the base gravy. And now what I have is roughly about 250 mils of cream. I'm going to add that in. Give this a bit of a stir. I'm going to put my rice on, and I'm going to let this do the korma on a low to low medium heat. Put the lid back on, and if we hook the chicken out in this, could well be that I could almost save some of this sauce for another day, or I could drink it. Well, folks, this is the korma cooked. Just to show you a little bit of ladle, it is quite thick. Mine, there's plenty of sauce though, because of the almond powder and that lovely coconut powder. What I have also done with this is a very light saffron rice. Right, folks, that's me done. The korma is cooked, the rice is ready, the hungry hordes are queuing up to have it served out. There's been a few people who have tasted it, like the better half, and she's enjoyed it. I hope that you enjoyed cooking with me, and I hope to see you again very soon. If you did like the video, please hit the notification button, give me a thumbs up, and please do subscribe to my channel. See you soon, have a great weekend, and rock on!